Okay, today is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022, and this is a part 2 update, and we're showing the satellite map here. This is the water vapor map for the continental U.S., and today Southern California should have had cool, rainy conditions. We can see here that we've got a tropical moisture flow, which is flowing right into Southern California, right there. And so what we saw instead was documented in the first video earlier today, which has been uploaded. And I posted a rather long comment, a lot of information there. I might just repost that same paragraph, many paragraphs of information in this video. So let's go ahead and take a look at the MODIS Today map, showing the extent of the aerosol haze that was sprayed over this tropical moisture field as it moved through our area. Now, right now we're looking at Lake Mead. This is the corner of Nevada. Las Vegas is right here. And of course, this is the Colorado River right here. And Lake Mead is at its all-time lowest level. Lake Mead, okay, Hoover Dam area. And we can see this gray crap here has been sprayed over the natural moisture that has moved in off of the Pacific Ocean. Now, most of this is just the chemtrail aerosol haze. You can see this gray haze is all over the place. And as we pan towards the coast, we can see natural clouds over these mountains. These are natural cumulus clouds that have developed over these mountains here in the Southern California area. So we've got Mount Baldy, which is 10,000 feet. That's in this range along here. We have got Mount Wilson. And then we have these the Santa Monica Mountains, and then we have out here near Fort Tejon Ranch, all these mountains here going up to Gorman. Those are all 5,000 foot, 5,000 and 6,000 foot mountains. So we had an opportunity, a good opportunity for rain and cool overcast conditions today in Southern California. Instead, we saw these specially equipped jets upspraying the skies. Now, this is not being called out on the media, because they're complicit in this massive criminal endeavor. And what I think is happening here is that the people that are involved in this, that is the mainstream media, the so-called meteorologists that are ignoring all of this evidence, their pension funds, I think, must be tied to the weather derivative scam, the scheme that is the weather gambling markets. And of course, if they expose that market and get too much attention drawn to it, it's possible that they could end up crashing their own retirements, I suppose, because we know that's how the deep state works, is that they booby trap everything such that if you complain too much, well, we'll just implode your retirement fund, and that's that. So there's a lot of reasons why these people are keeping their mouths shut. But here we are. We see the aerosols have been sprayed. If we go offshore here a little bit, we can see a lot of natural clouds here in the right offshore. So, and what's interesting here, we see some cumulonimbus development out quite a bit, a few miles offshore here, probably maybe 100 or so miles, a couple of 100 miles offshore. And what's interesting about these cloud formations is that they all have these clear areas, these spherical clear areas adjacent to the rising air. And it is possible, well, certainly it's possible, that satellite transmitters are hitting these and superheating them offshore, and the descending air is what is causing these clouds down beneath these thunderheads to cause these clearings. So these areas are being superheated, they're being targeted and superheated, they collapse, and then the resulting air turbulence pushes away the surrounding air, causing this void. Okay, and we see this all over offshore. So this is pretty good evidence of what's happening offshore. All right, so we have these clearings right adjacent to these cumulonimbus cloud formations. That's some pretty good evidence there. All right, so that's the evidence of the of what's happening here. And we see that gray haze once again, all sprayed over Southern California. And so the weather controllers have prevented the rain once again. Nobody's talking about this on the weather. I'm surprised that InfoWars won't cover it. It's very, very suspicious that InfoWars continues to feature Dane Wigington, who is basically selling, selling the idea that that the chemtrails are being sprayed in order to block the sun to fight global warming. That's what he's telling everybody, and InfoWars is marketing that as truth. So that's highly problematic for me. All right, here we are with the, this is the continental shot. We see all that moisture streaming right into California, Southern California. We've got a low pressure system right here that has moved in over Oregon and California. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at the pressure maps. We can see here that the surface map, we've got high pressure installed. And let's look at the surface analysis map for the East Pacific, and we can see that high installed right there, and that is blocking all the weather to the north. There's a low that's moved in. We'll take a look at that here in a sec. Now, one thing that's interesting here is here's the Hawaiian Islands down here. Just to the northwest, there's a surface to upper level closed low, which has been here for several days, just spinning in place. It's been sort of blocked in by highs surrounding it. And there's a very large occluded front showing here, and that's how they're maintaining the pressure. This is only 1,004 millibar. And we'll take a look at that here on the satellite map next on the East Pacific. But this has been here for days. It's just spinning and sort of helping to steer moisture fields that happen to be in the area. We'll take a look at all that. But this high, once again, is blocking all the weather that from the north from getting into California. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 500 millibar map, which is right here. And we can see that here's the islands. We have the closed low right there. And here on the surface map, once again, there's the closed low. This has been spinning in place for days. And that's the 500 once again, closed low. And then the 300 millibar map, a closed low. So that's a real weather system right there. Now looking at the East Pacific long wave IR map, we see that closed low from the surface level all the way up to the upper level. From the surface all the way to the upper level right there. And that's winding tropical moisture up towards the vortex, which is being blocked. We can see there's a right angle imprint on that low pressure. And you can see what's happening here. It's separating and preventing this moisture from wrapping back into that vortex. Some of that's getting in here. Watch what happens. It's flowing back around, but then it's cut off right there. Take a look. It's completely cut off. And so this is how these satellite transmitters completely isolate and control these low pressure vortexes. So watch it again. The moisture is flowing into the vortex, and then it's cut off right about there. See that? It broke there's that evaporation taking place right there. And now this vortex is completely isolated. We have the right angle imprint. And some of this moisture is now streaming back towards this other low pressure that is up in the Gulf of Alaska. In the meantime, though, we've got low pressure right over Oregon and Northern California, which is helping to draw all this moisture. And let's go ahead and look at the continental U.S. map. We can see the moisture streaming into California. And here's the low pressure over Oregon and California. This had more rotation earlier in the day. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a better shot of that. So there is some, here in the water vapor, we can just barely see a little bit of counterclockwise rotation over the border here of Oregon and California. And that's helping to steer in this, to draw in this tropical moisture. And then, of course, we see the high pressure going in. This just appears right here. Look at this. This dark area, that's the high. That's isolating the frontal system that would normally swing down and bring some additional cool weather and rain. But since the skies have been sprayed over, the atmosphere has been capped, there's no lift, and so there's no precipitation. And it's just as simple as that. So these satellite transmitters create on-demand high pressure. We can see it happening here. They're preventing the rain. Lake Mead is at its all-time lowest level. And out here, watch the development. These supercells develop right over Texas. Let's go ahead and take a look at that next. Watch what happens here. Watch the development. And we can see pressure waves develop as some of these cells are targeted by satellite transmitters. Watch the pressure wave there come out right there. And that one cell right up towards the top. They're going into Colorado, New Mexico, and Colorado. Watch it again. This is targeted. You can see those pressure waves moving out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the the Doppler map, and we can see what's happening here. So we have some severe weather near Amarillo, Texas, and into Oklahoma. This bow-shaped area here, there could be some tornadic activity as this moves through the area. Of course, there's no WSR-88Ds operational in the area, and that's been the pattern pretty much all year here in the central U.S. and in the eastern U.S. There is some strange, right here we see a very strange evaporation pattern there. And of course, right here we see a telltale sign of a ground-based microwave transmitter, which has completely evaporated the moisture in this area. I don't have my list handy, but I'm sure there's a WSR-88D somewhere down here in southern Texas. Okay. Around the rest of the country, not much happening. There's a smattering of rain here in Nevada, and in California we see some light rain falling here in the central California area between Paso Robles all the way up to Gilroy and just east of the San Jose area. That's good. That's all good news. But down here where these reservoirs are, Lake Mead, Lake Powell, it's bad. So we got Lake Mead here, Hoover Dam, and then you have Lake Powell up over here. Both of these reservoirs are at historic low levels because of the manufactured drought, the continual spraying by these jets that nobody's looking into. These pilots should be arrested and sent to Gitmo, and the entire operation should be taken down. We've been documenting this long enough, many years. It's just unbelievable that nobody's been held to account. So we're living in a total lawless country where the laws apply. We have selective justice, and can't have a country like that. Either the laws apply to everybody or forget it. Okay. All right. And up here in northern, we see up in northern Washington, we see some strange evaporation patterns here. Not sure how to explain this. Let's go take a look at Spokane. Yeah, we see the WSR-88D, and that area has created some of these pie-shaped cutouts, Spokane transmitter. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for tonight, and we'll just leave it right here. Okay, that's it.